Do you think totally passive dividend income is awesome? Well, how about totally passive dividend income that is growing all by itself? Would you like to know about stocks that are rewarding their shareholders with bigger dividends? Then you have to check out today's video.
He is a best-selling author.
30-year-old Jason Fieber has a plan.
This guy retired at only 33 years old.
I don't know if I know too many people that have accomplished something like that.
He's really kind of a guru when it comes to passive income.
Before I get into today's content, please give us a big thumbs up if you find value in our videos. Helps us to get the word out and grow the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. Dividend growth investing is a fantastic long-term investment strategy. It gives you the opportunity to build a gaggle of golden geese that lay ever more golden eggs. The golden geese are world-class businesses that produce reliable, rising profits by selling the products and or services the world demands. And the golden eggs are the reliable, rising dividends funded by those reliable, rising profits. If you can set yourself up so that you live only off of the growing pile of golden eggs, that's a path to nearly indestructible financial freedom and security. By leaving those golden geese alone and letting them get bigger and bigger over time, you could end up in a situation where you're overrun by golden eggs. And what a great situation that would be. Indeed, many high-quality dividend growth stocks are increasing their dividends at rates that vastly exceed the rate of inflation. So while the prices on a lot of things in life continue to go up every year, the dividends from high-quality dividend growth stocks tend to go up even more. Today, I want to tell you about 3 dividend growth stocks that just increased their dividends. Ready? Let's dig in. The first dividend increase I want to bring to your attention came from Medtronic PLC, stock ticker MDT. Medtronic just increased their dividend by 8.6%. This is one of the best and most reliable dividend growth stocks out there. Your bills are very reliable, right? Every month, the bills continue to roll in. Well, you want to make sure your passive dividend income is just as reliable. The medical devices company has increased its dividend for 44 consecutive years. That's longer than I've been alive. I've only actually had bills as an adult for less than 20 years. Medtronic has been increasing its dividend for twice as long. That's 2 of my adulthoods. Talk about reliable. This dividend increase isn't far off from the stock's own 10-year dividend growth rate of 10%. Again, reliable. Medtronic is super consistent, and this kind of dividend growth is very strong when you consider that the yield is at 2% now. The stock isn't cheap with a price to cash flow ratio of 27.5, but you really should have this stock on your radar. If it dips, that could be an opportunity to add one of the most golden geese out there to your gaggle. The second dividend increase I want to tell you about came from Flowers Foods Inc., stock ticker FLO. Flowers Foods just increased their dividend by 5%. Not a massive double-digit dividend increase, but this stock has typically been a pretty stout income producer. Indeed, the stock yields 3.5% here. While recent dividend growth has slowed compared to the 10-year dividend growth rate of 8.7%, you're still looking at a nice combination of yield and growth. This marks the 20th consecutive year of dividend increases for the food company. And since Flowers Foods specializes in basic food items like bread, we can be confident that there are more dividend increases where the last 20 came from. I don't know what kind of social media we'll be using 10 years from now, but I do know that we'll be eating bread in some form or fashion. This is an easy to understand business model, and the stock isn't egregiously valued. Most basic valuation metrics are in line with or even slightly below the respective recent historical averages. The price to cash flow ratio, for instance, is 11.5. That's lower than its own 5-year average of 12.9. This is a 3.5% yielding dividend growth stock trading hands for a reasonable valuation. Last but not least, let's talk about the dividend increase that came in from Lowe's Companies Inc., stock ticker LOW. Lowe's just increased their dividend by a jaw-dropping 33.3%. Lowe's stock ticker is LOW, but maybe it should be WOW for wow, 33.3%. The price of everything is always going up. Rent, food, energy, you name it. But when your dividend income is growing by more than 30% on a year-over-year basis, who cares? That's the beauty of high-quality dividend growth stocks. They allow your passive dividend income to more than keep up with inflation. This is the 59th consecutive year in which the home improvement retailer has increased its dividend. Like a fine wine, Lowe's gets better with time. Check this out. Their 10-year dividend growth rate is 18.9%, which is more than enough growth to go along with the current yield of 1.65%. If you thought that dividend growth was already impressive enough, here they come in with a dividend increase that's more than 30%. Some investors seem to be under the incorrect assumption that a multi-decade track record of dividend growth must automatically mean a slowing of growth. That's not true at all, and here's your proof. Almost 60 years into it, Lowe's is accelerating its dividend growth. The stock's valuation also appears to be reasonable. We know the housing market is going gangbusters right now, and home improvement retailers are printing gaudy numbers. They're absolutely killing it. Yet, this stock's valuation is quite reasonable. The price-to-earnings ratio is slightly over 21. That's not only lower than the broader market, it's also notably lower than the stock's own 5-year average price-to-earnings ratio of 25.2. Of course, that's on huge earnings, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. However, that big dividend increase doesn't require any caveats, and this is a long-term winner that should be on your radar, if not in your portfolio. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give us a like if you did, and let us know in the comments what you think about these dividend increases. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on new content. Also, take a look at the description box below for some important links, including a link to my personal stock portfolio. This 6-figure portfolio, which I call the Fire Fund, generates enough passive dividend income for me to live off of. It allowed me to retire in my early 30s. I've made my portfolio entirely accessible over a Patreon, and I also post alerts there whenever I buy or sell a stock. I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm often invested in the same high-quality dividend growth stocks that I make videos on. Over the years, I've heard from thousands of investors who have been profiting from many of the same exact stocks that I own. So if you think this is something that you could benefit from as well, check the link in the description to see my portfolio and start getting my buy and sell alerts. I'll see you next time.